Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Mayar. On this video I'm going to teach you the JSON message on a Java compute node. Before I start doing the code on a Java compute node, let's learn what is a JSON. If you come to W3 school, JSON stands for the Java Script Object Notation. It is lightweight, plain text, and it used between computers. It is a JSON is a language independent. You could come to a syntax, and there's a three rule to apply in syntax. Data is a name value pair. Is a name and value. It is a one pair of name value pair. A data is separated by comma. It's separated by a, there would be like if there's a more data, that would be separated by comma. There's only one pair, and also name value pair be separated by the colon. Is a curly bracelet all the object. If you come right here, this is the object of JSON, all by the curly bracelet. And square bracket all the array. On a JSON, the square bracket is all the array of JSON. If you come right here, so curly braces all the JSON of the array. This is the one of the JSON array. Come right here. Let me show you. Right here I have object of the array. On object of array, object of JSON. On an object of JSON, I have a array on inside of object, which is old and the curly bracelet. So you can learn more about JSON. Let's go back to a syntax. It support different data format. They support number, string, object, array, balloon, null on a JSON. And always the name it is a string. A JSON string value must be written and must be a double quote. The name value is always a string value. You could compare it with XML, it's up to you. Come right here and compare it. Some JSON has this name, some of them just start like that. If I pass this one, this will be one of my JSON object. But let's see it on a Java compute node, have it look. And also you come right here, manipulating message on a JSON domain. You could come and learn right here from the, I'm gonna place this you could click on that. They're teaching you step by step. Let's start it from right here. How should we write such a message on the hard coding of JSON on a JSON on a Java compute node? Let me complete this one, and I want to send this one because I want to point something to you. Let me send that one first. This has a one JSON object, and on that is a message, is a name, and hello world is value separated by comma. If I send that one, if you pay attention right here, it does not label it what this whole thing it called. Is that if it is me, I will call them a grading, word grading, or anything you could name them, so just put a label in it. But this has no element that label them. What is this? So let's see how IBM on the Java compute node does it. If I send messages, come right here. If we come to message and you come right here, first they say JSON, but on our message it doesn't say JSON. How we know it's a JSON? Because the way the structure it created, curly bracelet, then has a name and value pair. And if you open it and also you say data, JSON data, on a IIB they just create such a structure. JSON, one element, there's another element, they call them data. There's a parent, there's a child, and on a child we have another message, hello world. So we need to create, if you want to access, we need to first access the JSON, then data, then message tree. We will not right away create from right here message JSON. First we do this one, then data, then a message JSON. Let's do it how we do it right here. I already wrote it right here. We want to write such thing right here. I want to leave that one right here. Like how should we do step by step? I already delete everything from right here. Like I don't need all the code, just I need my function, evaluate function. On evaluate function we add this object as argument and we name it in assembly. You could name it anything. On in assembly, I already explained in first video, there is a money, there's all the data, whatever you see it right here, it coming in assembly. And on a MB message assembly, we add it to in assembly, then we pass it in assembly. From in assembly, we just want to get this part, get message. When I say get message, we sign it to in assembly, in message. Then we create the empty output message to add the output structure. How should we create a output message trees? On this a default structure, nothing in it on a MB message. So let's do it step by step. On a JSON, similar like we did it on a XML, we started with MbElement. Right here also we say MbElement. Then we gave them a name. We gave them output root, I will call them. Then equal to, because we already created out to this point. We now get one another thing I just want to clear. I do not want to get this value from my end message. I want to hard code this one. I want to hard code it right here first to create such a message. So how should we hard code it? Let me show you what this goes. Okay, MB message, then output root I call them, and we gave them out message dot. Now we will say, because we creating it first, we root the element. After root the element, once we create this root element, then we want to create our first child as a last child. We will say on a last child first. If you remember, we say MbElement, then XML the last time we did. This time we will say JSON, and we will parse that parser name, like we will use the parser to like any data that added after to this output element, that will turn it to as a JSON. Right now let's save it. Okay, this I create one output row. Right now I just want to create a JSON. And also I could okay, I already created to. Okay, let's again, I want to create the MB element, and they say output and equal to data, output data equal to this time, because we will use output root. Copy paste wrong thing right here. Let's pass it dot create as a last child 2 again. This time we will say MbElement, because we're creating a data right here, JSON data. This one I will say, this time we will say type name, then comma. I will mention data type. We will mention the MbJSON. Let's make it bigger. It is hard to see. Okay, MbJSON. This time we will say data element name. Data element name, that means same. If you pay attention with JSON, then data and has no value to it, we will say value is null, because data has no value. Null. We create it now up to data. Now we want to create the message hello world. How should we do that? If you pay attention right here, I create first the JSON. I will say output not root, let me say JSON, because that way you know it. JSON, then JSON, this output root that data element I create, this variable, this is a subchild of root. Now on the data there is another child I want to create a message that would become child of this one. So let's add it. You say I said MbElement, you could set it, or just like you could click that one, because it's child of that create as a last child, name value of pair you give them. This time MbElement dot, this time name we will ask. I already explained what is type name. This is the element only pick. If I pick type name and value, they will pick element name and value. If I pick type value, they only pick on value on that. If I pick that one, they just only place a value to my this one. But right now this time I want to use type name and value. I want to use, this would be my element name message. You see right here, let's go back to message. This is the key value pair. I want to use message which we passed already. Like, make it bigger, and the value is hello world. So right now we create hello world, which is name value pair. If you wanna see, now we create such structure right here. So that's the hard coding of first message. If you wanna check, let's check it. Let's check and see the result and finish that one. Okay, it's finished. Let's send anything right here because I don't want to get the value from it. Let's clean and send dd and switch get inside. First we create that one, which is 1000 is a domain type, 100,000 domain type. After domain is 3000 is a still domain type. Okay, let's send it. Let's check if we get it. Let's send it once again. Okay, now come again. There's a issue. Okay, no problem either. See, now that we created, even we send anything because we ignore that one, we create such structure. This is a hard coding. I don't want a hard coding. You could do that, but let's focus more. If you go back to the, let me go back to right here. We create such thing. We coded on a ESQL is on a simple easy way. We could say outputJSON, then data. We give it the hello world and done. Otherwise we create such structure. How should we use the array like this? Let's first send that one and have it look, then create this one. Let's send that one, and if you check right here again, JSON data, and this time it add item to it because it's array. This is the array because you see the curly bracket to add it right here. That's the array type of JSON. And also there doesn't say right here item, but right here it say item 1 and item 2. Item 1 item is the value A, item value B. Right here doesn't say, just say value A and B. So just how should we create such a hard coding thing? How should we do that? Let's do that one. and this was for that. Let's go right here and add this one. We wanna comment that one. Okay, let's keep it in. Once we add the data, that's why. So now we want to create such thing. Again, start from MbElement. When I say MbElement, we're referring to element. We want to create the element for the message tree. Just to like make sure, I know you guys know about element. Once again, this name that appear, JSON, data, item, those are the element. That's why I call them element. Whenever we want to manipulate or create the tree of the element, we're using element. That's why, just like I'm sure you guys know, but just want to reconfirm why I'm calling element. Element is those the all element. That could be message, there's the element property, this name itself. When you give it to the tree, children of a tree, they are the element. This name, which is called JSON, the domain type of element, this the data, this item, this all element. Okay, and again we will say output JSON, I will say, because we're doing with JSON. Then we will start it with output. We already wrote the output right here. Let comment that one. We're using output again. Always output till get root element, then create as a last child. I already explained why we call them last child. You could watch my first video on XML domain. You just create a last child of, and we say MbJSON. This time is JSON dot first name. So we say MbJSON first name. This way we did it on first, but right now first time we create the element name JSON, then we turn it to the JSON, we will turn it to array. We say JSON. Now we create that tag right now, the outputJson tag to JSON array. Let's say MbElement. Just name the output. Let's say this time data array, and we give them output JSON dot create as a last child. I'm sure you sometimes you confuse why I keep calling as a last child, because this is the last child of JSON. That would be data. Last child. This time we will say MbJSON.ARRAY. That way because we're creating array for that one, value 1 and value 2, item 1 and item 2. So that's why we name it, and we will create the data to it, and that would be data on the data. The array would be on the data, and the data element has no value, is null. I put it. We create that one. Let's make it bigger because it's hard to back and forth. Now we create for the whatever we create, we will create the value 1 and value 2 to it. How should we create for this array? Because the data would be under that, the item 1, then the value A, item and value B. So we use the same thing, dot create as a last child, and this time MbElement dot MbElement dot type name value pair comma item because it's item value 1, item value 2. You could I don't know why I call them value 1 and value 2. Let's item A and item B. Let's call them 1 or 2 so that way you're not confused, because I used to value 1 and value 2 on array. So item 1, that would be my, because this name value pair, we create the item and we give them value. This is a value 1. We want to create another one, same thing, we will call them value 2. Like the way we regularly created right here, like we just named it, you could regularly also create it, but you pass the value to it. But you just also mentioned there's an array of data. After data there's a 2 item. On this data there would be 2 item, value 1 and value 2. So you keep adding more if you want. So this was, let's send that one and check, just to make sure you know that this is the hard coding we're doing right now. This one get a hard coding regular message. You could make it that complicated message. You could add more message to it, like not only hello world, just create another like a name value pair to it and separate it by comma, and keep doing that. You could even add to the message, make it a message type, just like it's a simple message. There's an array type of simple. After simple we will go a little bit advanced. Let's complete that. If it happen like that, you just pick the application. Sometimes it don't work. Okay, it's a timeout message and redeploy because we brought the changes. Let's send any message. I want to send any message because it's a hard coding. I don't want to send that one. And just complete it and see the result. What happened? Let's check it. Say unvalid element was found in the child root element. Let's check what is it. Okay, this is no, this is not causing, because it's a hard coding. Okay, let's check one by. Okay, let's redeploy it. Sometime it causes the issue because something is left from previous one, or the deploy doesn't work. Let's complete it. Okay, it's working. Value 1 and value 2. So that was the array type. You could add the array type right here, like value 1 and value 2. So value 1 and value 2, just that would be my array. Let's go to another type. We have a like, and this type, if you want to write in a ESQL, we just say create it, we reference it, then we identify the array. This is after that one, because it has not continue, we identified this data as array, which is array that has item 1 and item 2 to it. We create last child of output JSON data type, name value pair, name item and value, this one like on a ESQL, but this was the what do you call the Java compute node. You could come and there's a Java object array. We have a Java object array. Let's copy that one and send it. Let's send that one and see it on our code. Like if you see right here is a JSON data, and we have item 1 and item 2. On item 1 we have a name 1 value 1, name 2 value 2, and same thing name 2. We have like on each item we have a more data. On a previous one, on a data there was item and value, but right here inside of item we have more data to it. Like what they call, let's go with the explanation. What right here it called JSON object array. This is a JSON object. This is the structure. They gave them the array, and after array that has object 1 and object 2. You keep giving more and keep doing and separated by comma. So right here like array, then the object 1 up to right here, one object of JSON, and there's another object of JSON, and each one has a, let's say, name 1, value 1, name 1, value 1, name 2, value 2, name 2, value 2. Like you could give more data to it. Let's how we write that one, and let's go to SQL code and write that one. Just let's minimize it, that way you see the picture. And this one I will comment it. I will put all this code on also this video description. I will put everything on a video description. If you like to, you just go over there and get it. Let's use that one, that way we remember how you coding it. Same thing when you getting to that position, let's copy some. Instead this time we do, let's copy some code and paste it. We save some time. That now we're gonna fix it. Okay, let's write it up, because there's a first structure they use right here. They use this structure. I will say outputJson equal to outMessage.getRootElement.create. we wanna create as a last child dot create, because you get used to it. Dot create as a last child, and this time MbJSON I wanna parse it as a JSON. This, like anything come under that, the data will be turned, the subshell would be JSON to that. So that way the Java code parsing each data to JSON. And it's MbElement, this will say data JSON. I will say it. Now I will say out. You could add everything on the one line, but I don't want to add it to one line and make you confused. That's one I want to add it to a separate line. You could continue with whatever do. We just create this one right here, JSON. See, when you say MbJSON, we create that one. Right now we're creating data. If you remember the last time we said MbJSON.ARRAY, then we right here, if you pay attention, we let me check. Right here say MbJSON data element name, then we gave the value because we create this one. So this time we will say array. This time let me say MbJSON.ARRAY, then .array. Now we will mention the MbJSON array type. Data data element comma null. Okay, what we did, we create this. The reason we mentioned this is the array data, because if you check right here once again, don't get confused why we mentioned, because this has no name to it. If this has a name, let's say I put this one data, not data, let's say employee, then I will make the employee my data, not data as my employee as my array. This employee, let's say this employee, employees I will make it my array. But since I don't have a name, the object do not have a name and we don't know, so that's why I make my data as object, as my array, then we just give them item. That's why just I want to make sure, that's why we make right here data as an array type and has no value to it. Okay, let's keep on more. We want to add right now item 1 and item 2. Let's open item 1 so we see it. So if you want item 1, we because it is on the data. If it's on the data, it's a data JSON. Then we add it to that one. So let's create the item for that. This time we're gonna name it item, because we're creating item 1, then item 2 we will create. If item 1 is on the JSON, then we say create again as a, you could say as a first child. This is the first child, as a last child, the second would be as a first child, and you keep adding that to it. First child, last child, first child, last child, like something. I already explained first to last child, but sometimes it is, even I get confused. Is the last child or first child? Say MbElement, we create the element, and the element has a my JSON array, MbJSON, and as an array, you see, if you put the array, they give you the item. This for the item, using item, and has no value to it. This has a no value. This is like data in it, so we put them null. When it's no value to it, no problem, we put it null. If it has a value, what happened to that? What happened? Element cannot be resolved. Quick first create constant. Okay, the reason if you check right here, we mentioned the value, JSON value, but where's the element? We say type name, that's a element of my item, has no value to it. It says like that. So let's create this to name 1 and then name 2 right now. So let's make it bigger. Say dot create as a last child. The first one is as a first child, the second one is as a last child. Don't get confused. Like me, I get confused sometimes. So just hold on. So let's use the name value pair. Name value pair, now you need to mention the name and this is the value. Name value pair. And this is the value, and this is repeating right here 1 time, 2 times for one object. Let's repeat that one 2 times. The second is val1, name 1 was fine, and there's a number. If you want the number as an integer on your JSON when you receive it, you could do that. If you want it just like as a, you could pass it as a string, you will get a number, but that would be as a string. But if you want it as a number, you need to pass the object. New, say integer, we passed it right here. So now this new keyword had to be loic, because we create the integer object and we passed it. We pass it as object, as integer. Let's make it as separate. Right now, if you pay attention, we create the first a child of the first object, this first object. Let's create a second object. So the second object we need to create it. This was the first object, item 1. That would become item 1. This guy, we create that one. Let's create right now this one. This is number 2. So let's copy and paste instead of typing it. Okay, let's copy paste. Excuse me for my child on the background. And this time this is a number 2 and the same value name 2. Okay, we will make that one name 2. Every other thing is same. We say name 2 then integer. Let's make this is the 2. So this one. Okay, I think all is set. We just create JSON. Just one more thing, because it is the child of my second one, and we need to mention this is the child of on the child of, this is the parent, this is the one child, this is the second child, and this is a last child. We need to make that one as a last child. Last child. Just remove the argument and get that one and paste it right here. Save. Let's complete that one. We create the item 1 and item 2. This is the item 1 and this is the item 2. Creating item is MbElement dot type name, and you just say MB.ARRAY item name, then value is null. Say MB.ARRAY item name, and this is a value null. Complete that one and come back and redeploy. Okay, it's all is set. Let's send. Just make it 0 because it's a hard coding. That's why we want that. Okay, all is fine. Let's check. Okay, you see we get a name 1, value name 2 with integer value. So it is on array. This is the array, and this is the object 1, the object 2. So once you come back, I'm gonna write like once it has a like that kind of, because we just done it like it has no value. I mean, my point is when this array has a name is employee and first, second, third, each one has a first last name to it. How should we write once the array has a name to it? And we're gonna write this is the comparing thing. We're gonna write different way. Let's back up, and we're gonna write different way of JSON message a little bit more. Then we're gonna assign value from the input in message instead of we hard coding it. Okay, then let's see you on the next video, because right now it's getting too long.